Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Speaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, there's so many places out there where you can end up with a case of the 4 A's because of the headlines. Anxious, afraid, annoyed, and angry. And I don't want you waking up that way. I don't want you driving that way. That's why this show's been on for 721 consecutive weeks now as a landing page for anyone who wants to start their day in the most positive way. And I'm so grateful. They said I wouldn't last a year. Well, I was just telling Dr. Tiffanie that in May 1st, we're going to have another roast of me because it will be 14 years on the air, on camera. And for that, I am truly grateful. And today, y'all know from the beautiful face in the studio that we have someone familiar to you. Her name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate. She's a U.S. Navy veteran, published author, retired OBGyn from Compton, California. Playwright, singer, poet, songwriter, and much more. She's a published author of many books, including children's books that help parents talk about difficult conversations and teaching them how to be safe, like bad touching. Her latest new hat being thrown in the political arena is running for Congress. So without further ado, please welcome the co-star and co-host of Straight Talk with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate to Doc.
Welcome back to the studio. And
doctors in the house. Doctors in the house. Not straight talk. We are doctors in the house.
oh, I did it again.
It's okay. I got you. I got you.
Thank you. Well, we do straight talk, so that's the confusion.
Mhm.
But it's doctors in the house with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
take two. No mistakes, just missed take. That was a missed take. And
Mhm.
we're going to start the show the way we always do with breakfast, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun, we look outside of ourselves and say, what are we grateful for? Bottom of the bun, we do before we go to bed this evening and say, what do we like about ourselves? That's weightlifting for good life habit, hashtag Blisscipline. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to approve of you? So, Dr. Tiffanie, start us off. What are you grateful for?
Well, I am grateful that we have had a lot of rain. I have grown up in California where we have had a season of drought. And for the first time, we don't have a drought. So I am thankful to the good Lord for the rain.
Yes, absolutely. I am grateful that there is a solution for my shoulder intense pain that I've been experiencing. There's nothing like a good dose of constant pain to be grateful for the times you don't feel pain. But I didn't want to tell you beforehand, but I've been having that shoulder. They did a MRI or CT, I always get mixed up. And there's only this much tendon attaching the rotator cuff. And so I did not want to have shoulder replacement surgery. However, I am going to have surgery. We're going to try to schedule it on April Fool's Day, but it's not a full replacement. He's just going to go on with the camera, and there's some cartilage and the tendon, and see if we can repair that. So I'm excited about the solution. I've never been more excited about having surgery just for the pain's sake, literally. But I am grateful for medical technology. And of course, in Doctors in the House, Dr. Tiffanie is the MD. I'm the PhD, which just is piled higher and deeper. But I am grateful this morning for medical technology.
Beautiful. I'm happy that you were able to have your surgery. And I am grateful that I had a chance to participate in the Black History Day parade with my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And I had a wonderful experience participating in the Riverside Black History Day parade, and it was wonderful.
Fantastic. I am grateful not only for doctors who helped me medically. I had a great Chinese New Year show on Tuesday. Those of you who missed it, my hematologist and his wife came on as my volunteers, to learn about their Chinese zodiac and all things Chinese New Year related. And I just asked Dr. Tiffanie if she knew what she was, and I'm going to use this to educate her for a second, because she's always educating me, which is great. But you are a wood tiger in the Chinese. So yeah, which is characteristics are confident, adventurous, and enthusiastic. Right? Isn't that cool? That sounds like you. And let's see. This will tell you who you will be good for love compatibility. So what's interesting is, I'm going to pull this up for you so you can see it, that I'm not making this up. But as you go about in your next chapter of the book of romance, do you see this? So you are compatible with dragons, horses, and pigs.
Oh,
you're
pigs.
a perfect match. And a worst couple is ox, tiger, snake, and monkey. That's quite a few, actually. So this is something for you to know. And this is not the month you're born, but the year that you're born. But yours is a lucky year. And then let's see, this year, because it's the year of the horse, let's see if there's anything here, what you should do. Let's see. Year of the, what did I just say? Year of the what?
The year of the horse.
No, metal tiger. Did I just say you were a metal tiger, or a water tiger, or a wood tiger?
Wood tiger.
Wood tiger. Forecast for year of the fire horse. So all of this is very, so empirically based. No, it is Chinese ancient stuff. So here we go. Can you see this? Year of the fire horse. Wood tigers are expected to thrive due to high energy, competitive environments, making it an excellent time for leadership, career advancement, and expanding professional networks. While the year brings increased wealth and potential, tigers should guard against impulsive decisions and potential workplace friction. Isn't that cool?
Wonderful.
Yeah, so these are all the things. You can go check that out. I'll send a link to you. But I just love my Chinese heritage and my Chinese roots. And during this time, for the next 15 years, 13 more days. So get your hair cut today, because tomorrow, if you cut your hair, you will cut away good fortune, prosperity, and wealth. So that's the first day and the third day of the Chinese New Year.
Wonderful.
Yeah. What else are you grateful for?
And I am grateful that I had the opportunity to be interviewed on another podcast, a veterans podcast called She Vets It. And it was a great experience because I met the person who's over the podcast, and she's a fellow veteran. And we happened to be at a Christmas party of one of my sorority sisters, celebrating her because she's a major in the Guard. And we just clicked, and she's a wonderful person. And she was like, I want you on my show. You have a great story. And so we just hit it off. And if you have an opportunity, please check it out. Check it out. It's on She Vets It. You can find the link on my site. And yeah, it was great.
Yeah. The funny thing is I saw that and it looked like, because her face was on I go, is she starting another podcast and
I was
didn't
like,
even
no.
tell me?
I told her, absolutely not. I have enough on my plate.
I was like, hello, a little professional courtesy and let me know, but it wasn't. It was, I'm happy for you though. It's a whole different experience being a guest than hosting. I'm sure you figured that out.
Yes.
I've been doing quite a few being a guest, and I have to say there's something cool about not having to stop talking. Because you are the guest. But anyways, let's see. Anything else? Let's go to the bottom of the bun. Big topic today, so we want to make sure we have time for that. Bottom of the bun. Before you go to bed tonight, instead of saying, oh, I didn't finish that, or why does so and so blah blah blah, and and then you can't fall asleep because you're thinking about it. And I don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that. We want you to fall asleep with the smile on your face that says, you know what? I did good. What is that expression I keep forgetting that the kids say? Yay, me.
Yay, me.
Oh, and I remembered it. I remembered it.
Yeah.
So we want you to fall asleep saying, yay, me. What are you good at? And it's weightlifting right now for good mental health. I think good mental health starts with a healthy appreciation, self-love, self-care, self-soothing. So that's why we do this part of the bite of the gratitude sandwich. This is at the bottom of the bun. So, Dr. Tiffanie, what do you like about yourself?
I am beginning to really appreciate my personal story. A lot of times we dismiss our own journey, and I think it's important to really appreciate how far we have come. And a lot of times you have to look back over your own life and appreciate your own personal growth. And I am appreciative for my own growth and my own journey.
Beautiful. I appreciate my willingness to listen to that voice that said radio to start at May 1st, 2012, that I'm not so adamant and manipulative to say, this is what I want to do. I'm very like, what now, brown cow, which is very control freakism. I'm a recovering control freak, and knowing that I'm just part of this quantum energy of love that we all are a part of. And so I am truly appreciative of my ability to listen instead of force. So allow instead of make things happen is get inspired to do something instead of forcing it. So I appreciate that about myself. All right. Good?
Absolutely.
Is that a good breakfast? That was a
Great
good breakfast. Oh, and I love the hearts. Somebody's in studio they haven't identified, but thank you for the heart. And if you would join me every weekday morning, I'm here having breakfast with you. Just come by, sign up the YouTube TV channel. Give me the finger, this one, not the other one, and you'll get an alert every weekday morning to join me live on my Dr. Marissa Pei YouTube TV channel, now with 4.7 million impressions. I don't know if I told you, Dr. Tiffanie, it went up another tick. So we are happy with that. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. Dr. Tiffanie, what is the topic of the day?
Get them up. How do you fight? And is it fair? Let's go.
Get them up. Get those dukes up. Great topic. And I just love that we deal with real stuff here on the show, instead of stuff that we can't control that are in the headlines. So, and I always enjoy, I let Dr. Tiffany take the lead every week to pick a topic. And my favorite question is, so, Dr. Tiffany, why are we talking about put them up?
Get those dukes up. Well, I have, I have some young adults, and it's interesting. I still do a lot of mothering, and I have to do a lot of interceding and a lot of counseling. And I've had to break up some fights recently. And I was like, okay, let's talk about this. This is a subject that needs to be talked about. And a lot of times when we talk about fighting, whether it's friendships, professional relationships, we hear fight, and most people picture violence. We think about a cage. We think about two athletes, bright lights. We think about ultimate fighting championships, kickboxing, boxers. But two trained professionals into a ring, rules are set, there's a referee present, weight classes are enforced, it's violent and it's regulated. But realistically, most people fight on a regular basis and the rules are not set. And it's like street fighting, phone fighting, familial fighting, workplace fighting, school fighting, participation fighting, group fighting. And how do we make sure it's fair? Or is it fair? How can we compare this? There's no referee, there's no rules, there's no agreed start or finish, especially in relationship. And suddenly we get very uncomfortable. So is fighting the issue, or is it the structure or lack thereof? So I figure this is a topic that we need to take it, smack it, flip it upside down, rub it down, dive into it, and swim around into this topic.
Great. Yeah, we don't go to school for this. We don't know. Really, we're not taught how to fight. We see it in our home. Maybe the way we're not supposed to fight, but that's all we're exposed to. I saw a lot of fighting myself, between my mom and my dad, and it was more like my mom was just unhappy, and then, my dad, my dad used to say, this is kind of sad, but he would say, she's gonna yell this much more than you when you stop. So what he kept telling me, why do you keep arguing with her? Because no matter how long you go, she's still gonna be that much longer. So I've learned to just not say anything and then let her and let her finish. And I don't know if that was necessarily a great thing, but that's what I learned about fighting is it's just the stronger one or the one with the most power, or the one with the most talking or yelling wins, which is not exactly what you want to learn about fighting, and that it is not avoidable.
Mhm.
It's just natural to have fights. And it's funny, I taught a course at UCLA called Managerial Interpersonal Communication. And this was in the MBA school way back when. And I had some models from the text, and then I made up my own models on some ways of fighting and pillows and arrows and stuff like that. But if we were to design a course for kids, that might be a good topic for your next kids book, girl.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Oh, I just maybe we'll co-write it because I like that idea because I don't know if there's a book out there that teaches kids how to fight fair, right?
No, they need it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so that's my reaction. A great topic. I know that I'm not a good fighter. As soon as there's like I'm out the door. And I know
Mhm.
that's not that's also not helpful. So
Yeah, because the reality is that fighting is not always physical. Most of the time, it is emotional. Whether you give somebody the silent treatment,
mm,
whether it is sarcasm, bringing up something from the past, and I know that I'm guilty of that. I will, in a minute, be like, "But wait, you said, oh, I'm good. I can play the dozens all day long. I have a memory that will." Come back. I will clap back, depending, especially if you're family. Oh yeah, I'm like,
uh,
I will, I always say nobody can hurt you more than your family, because you can definitely recall what they've done. And it's this ideological fighting, whether it's politics, religion, culture. We have this way of saying, well, it's just how I was raised. But is it really how you were raised, or is it just default, or is it ego? And then there's online fighting. You have these keyboard warriors. And
mm,
I'm not saying that it's wrong, it's just what we have evolved into.
mm,
People fighting strangers they've never met and
mm,
will never meet, as if survival depends on it.
mm.
So, what is fighting? And at its core, fighting is a clash over our values, power, resources, identity, and or is it about respect?
Hmm. Um, I think if I were to start with baseline, it would be to accept that fighting is just a part of being human, and it is unavoidable. And the source of the fight, the the content of it is secondary to, as you mentioned, the emotional attachment of that. So it's interesting. I heard this ad before I was watching something, and it said that kids who have had past trauma, uh, I'm one of the 7 out of 10. That's my superpower is that I get that. I know that feeling. But we have a uh, warped and inaccurate um, belief, BS belief system about anger and disagreements that normal people, when they get into a disagreement or an argument, they are not in fight or flight because they just know that it's normal, right? And you have to work through it. Whereas someone like me who has that, past history and all that baggage that comes with it, and I take my advice. I'm not using it. That's the name of the show. I'm still working on it. I will be working on this, unfortunately, for the rest of my life. We tend to, as soon as there's a fight, we're I'm gonna die if I stay in the ring.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting because evolutionary thinkers like Charles Darwin, he argued that competition is wired into us. And early humans, they fought for food, territory, status, mates, and safety. And if you didn't compete, you didn't survive. And that was the initial frame of thought. But the truth is, we no longer live in caves. So we, in theory, have evolved. In theory.
In theory,
In
yeah, an
theory.
asterisk with an asterisk.
Right. In theory, we have evolved. And yet our nervous systems still react like we do.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Lisa, welcome to the show. You are the captain of the Cashew Gallery because you're the first one to check in. And her comment is I stopped fighting and started observing and listening and allowing people to get it all out.
Mhm.
Good for you. I can't do that. I'll be the first one to say you're advanced there.
Yeah,
Because I
and
had
that's normal. You're right, Dr. Marissa. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So that's good. That's good. It is because what is it? Oftentimes people who are angry are not angry at you. They're angry about something, and the best thing to do is allow them to get it out because negative energy takes more volume in your body than positive energy.
Mhm.
So to be able to release that anger is important. It's very difficult for me. I have to be, even if it's not about me, I feel like it's about me. So
Yeah, because physiologically, when someone challenges your opinion, your brain often reads it as a threat. Your heart rate increases, your adrenaline rises, and your voice tightens. So your body prepares for combat. So you
mhm,
have this physiologic response. And it may not necessarily be ego, it's more like your identity is like, hey, wait, hold on. What is this? And
mhm,
it's like if someone attacks you verbally, you believe like you feel like it's attacking who you are,
mhm.
essentially.
Yeah, I've had that. I think we alluded to this in last week's show, having people in front of you or behind your back insult you or do something like that. Those are fighting words, which reminds me, I actually like in the promo, I said, "Is all fair?" That where did that come from? All is fair in love and war. I want to look that up. Those are fighting words. Is there such a thing as fair fighting? Is that an oxymoron? So go ahead.
It's interesting because I think Sun Tzu in The Art of War, they actually wrote the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting.
Mm.
And that line is like over 1,000 years old,
Right,
but
right,
it's
right, right.
still relevant. And
Mhm,
it's like the best fighters don't just swing, they understand true strategy, which is through emotion and timing. And it's like, okay, how can I resolve this in a strategic way, but in a reactive way?
interesting. I'm gonna pull this up just because I love learning new things. And this one is the expression "all is fair in love and war" originates from the 16th century literature in John Lyly's novel Euphus, The Anatomy of Wit. Interesting. Original work suggested that passion and conflict override normal moral rules. It implies that trickery or anything go attached are permissible in both romantic pursuits and armed conflicts. I love that. Grouping two things, romantic pursuits and armed conflict together.
And it's
Oh,
interesting that they say that because the research indicates that most couples will disagree about 1 to 3 times a week. That's the common on average. It
one, two,
varies daily, but minor disagreements are kind of average.
yeah. Uh, 1 to 3 a week, did you
Yeah.
say?
That's healthy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll see about that. Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like, if I have one, I'll go, "Oh, they're not meant
And
to be. Not
that's
meant to
we're
be."
gonna work on your patience, doc. We're gonna
What
work.
patience? I don't have the P
We're,
word. I
we go.
keep
We're
telling you,
going.
doc, I do not have that word.
By the
Don't have
time
any
we
desire to have
we're working on that, and so
it.
we that's why we're educating you about what's
No, it's
healthy.
not for me.
Yes, yes,
No,
we're gonna get you there.
no, we're
So
gonna
yes,
go
the
to Lisa
normal
here.
frequency. No, 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 no. So yes, so this
Oh,
is research. This is based on a Pew study. Normal research indicates 1 to 3 times per week is common, and so minor disagreements to major disagreements. So it's common from 1 to 3 times a week, and couples frequently fight over money, communication, household chores, and intimacy, with disputes often masking deeper needs for power, control, or connection. And this is in the more seasoned people. We don't use the term OLD. That's just a bad word.
mhm.
While younger couples often clash over finances, our seasoned couples tend to argue about chores and habits.
Mm,
And the top issues include feeling undervalued, conflicting, or unappreciated.
interesting.
So that's what the
Interesting.
science shows.
Got it. Got it. Lisa Farr, shout out to Rhythmia. I actually can't handle that weather. That's one of the reasons why I have not gone to teach there. But I did have Gerard on the show. He's at his interviews watched quite a bit. So shout out to Rhythmia, and I know I have friends that work there, John Jacob and a bunch of other people. But this is in Costa Rica, Dr. Tiffany, that she went. That's where she said she learned the art of listening when people are angry. So I'm not going there to learn that. I'm sorry. It's too hot. Okay, it's already. How do we go through time so fast, Dr. Tiffany? We've laid out
fun.
Yes, we've laid out the reality of fighting and some initial statistics. We're going to come back after break and talk about some solution to fighting and how to make it a productive exercise instead of a destructive. Ooh, I like that. Destructive exercise. Don't go away. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Not that long, but peace in and peace out. Don't go away. We'll be more of Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am running for California State Senate in the 32nd District. As a veteran officer of the United States Navy, I am committed to upholding the Constitution and making sure social justice is upheld for all California citizens. As a board-certified OBGyn, I am focused on quality health care for everyone in the district and all Californians. I am going to make sure that your medical needs are met and make sure that quality health care is available for everyone. And as a native Californian, I am focused on making sure the economy is improved and there is better housing for everybody. Please visit my website at votedrtate.com to learn more about my platform. Support me so that I can support you. Paid for by Dr. Tate for Senate.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pei's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. Number one at FM as well. Every weekday morning at 8 a.m. drive time. Back to my old slot. Happy to be there. And thanks for all the messages welcoming me back to the best time slot as you go to work, because I want you to be as happy as possible before you get to work. And today is, as you can see, who I have in studio with me, the one, the only, the beautiful Inside and Out co-host for Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
welcome back to the studio. And the topic for today is
Get him up. Let's fight, and let's fight fair.
let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, that was
Watch that shoulder.
I got a chip on my shoulder, literally inside. Anyways, tell me more research. We've been covering fighting, fair fighting or unfair fighting, normal fighting, averages 1 to 3 times a week. I don't think anybody's around that long.
You know what?
Although I have a new victim. We'll see. We've got second dates tonight. So we'll see if we make the record 4, which is the longest dates I've had. But this one's cutie patootie. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, congratulations. I think that's great. Post Valentine's Day.
I got wait. I got a basket of chocolates. I've never had a basket of chocolates. And he showed me flowers that match the pink teddy bear that he's bringing for tonight's date. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't want to get too excited because I may have a fight.
Well, let's talk about what does it mean to have a fair fight? Because we talked about fight.
Yeah.
And so there's different, let's break it down to 3 types of fights. We are already aware of physical fighting, like combat sports, ultimate fighting. Then there are emotional fightings, like arguments in relationships and passive aggression versus confrontation. We've tend to experience those. And then there's ideological fightings, like political fighting, online fighting, culture wars. And so you want to ask, is fighting always negative, or is it sometimes necessary? And so when you're looking at that, that's kind of how you want to classify it, because it's important. You want to say, okay, is it going to be fair? And so you want to look at, are we looking at equal power, agreed rules, honest intent, or are they using like some hidden emotional weapons? And because we don't really have rules when we get into arguments with people, unless you actually set boundaries when you fight with someone. I have never had a relationship where I said, okay, when we argue, this is going to be off bounds. Well, I can't say that. No, I have had a relationship where I said, listen, we're not going to bring up past things. But then usually we break that and we bring up past things anyway.
Right.
In the heat of the moment, you're pissed off and you toss all that out. And somebody will say, well, you said and you did, because you're hurt in your heart. And you throw that out the window. And so
to admit it.
Yes. So then it's like dirty fighting and why it works. And so explore these uncomfortable truths. Is there manipulation? Is there gaslighting? And so are there going to be any smear campaigns? And how far are you going to go, or how far are they going to go? And when you look at the research, because there is some research, because like I said, while couples will argue about 1 to 3 times per week, the goal of fair fighting is to ensure that these disagreements do not become toxic or emotionally damaging, because the goal is to repair the relationship. And if you're not both committed to repairing the relationship, then you have a problem, because a common guideline is to maintain a ratio of at least 4 to 5 positive interactions for every one negative one.
Interesting. Interesting. It just reminded me that in my marriage, we did not fight at all because we were both broken and we both had really bad experiences with anger and tempers and all of that. Both of us, him from his older brother, me from my mom. So it's no wonder we didn't fight. And that is not a healthy sign when people say we never fight, right?
Yes. Now that's definitely a red flag, because then you're just in denial. And so how to treat fighting in relationships, because you don't want to deny. You definitely don't want to deny everything, but you want to pause before reacting. If you're going to fight, you want to pause before reacting, because when emotions are spiking, your logic drops. Like I said, because even though I try not to pull the baggage from the closet and, pull those skeletons out, you want to take a short break for at least 10 to 30 minutes, not a month or two, Doc.
Now, why you say it like that?
I'm throwing it out there. I'm not pointing the finger.
Yes, you are.
You just want to breathe slowly. Is it because you're the only one on this
No,
on this show?
I'm the only one that admits.
Dear listeners, we don't want to take a month or two. We want to breathe slowly, take a break for about 10 to 30 minutes, avoid texting paragraphs while angry, because this prevails, and we want calm heads to prevail. 2, focus on the issue, not the person. Don't say unhealthy things like "you always." Number one, there are no absolutes, people. Nobody always does anything except breathe. You have to breathe to live. Or "you're so selfish," or "you're so petty." No labeling. Healthy responses are "I felt hurt when this happened," or "I need more communication about plans." Using I statements are less accusatory, and it helps you take ownership of how you feel. You disagree, Doc?
I have this aversion to psychobabble, and which is ironic, as I am a psychologist,
Right.
but I'm going to put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. I prescribe to, especially because of the law of attraction and Abraham Hicks, the whole concept of I am responsible for my feelings, which means no one can break my heart. No one can make me feel sad. No one can make me feel mad. I choose to react to what you're saying and doing on my own. So in that case, saying, I feel sad when you say this, or I feel mad when you do this, is contrary to my BS, my belief system that I am responsible for my own emotions. At the same time, I understand that I don't live on a desert island and I can't just take my toys and go away every time someone says something that I don't like. So I'm balancing those two things. That's why I am trying to use another word or try to use another approach than this traditional I feel statements, because I think in the beginning it was good because people didn't talk like that and they would point the finger there, right? And the attempt is to say, I feel because of what you did, but that's still a transactional exchange. I want to say, I own that this is a trigger for me. And I want to just make sure that I'm not going to take my toys and go home on this one. Is there a way that we can come to the middle on this disagreement? For me, that is my magic salve, instead of I feel still, to me, is a wimpy way out. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I think that's a good opinion to have. And I think just owning how you feel, nobody can tell anybody what to do. And by all means, we're not advocating anybody to behave a certain way. And I think it's important. I think psychologist John Gottman had identified like 4 behaviors that will likely predict breakups. And these are like 4 relationship killers that should be avoided, like criticisms, contempt, and defensiveness, and stonewalling. Like criticism, attacking the character of your partner, contempt, mocking and eye rolling repeatedly, defensiveness, like refusing responsibility, and stonewalling, when you just shut down emotionally. Because most people are in relationships to connect. And if you can't have that connection, then you're in a relationship by yourself. And so if you notice these, kind of try to reset the conversation so you can get that connection, because it's hard to connect with somebody if you're not getting that connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're getting a lot of great emojis coming on to the chat this morning. We're talking about, if you just tuned in, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and our very special Wednesday series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
I remembered my station ID at 3/4 mark. Hello. Dr. Tiffany is giving some great tips now about how to disagree and how not to disagree in relationships. If you have any examples of that, please do put it in the chat. Thank you, Lisa Farr, for continuing to be with us and giving her her reactions here on the chat. If you're driving and listening on the AM FM side, please do not do that. Wait till you get somewhere safe. I can have a conversation, but I don't like arguments. Yeah, that's totally, I'm with you. Can you really enjoy arguments? Now, I'll give you a great example. I have in my swipe or no swiping activity, which is also known as extreme sport of dating, I will come across profiles and they'll say, I love deep conversations and a healthy debate. And I go, next, because I don't want those. I have conversations all the time, but it's part of my work. When I come home, the last thing I want is to get into a heated debate. I hate that expression. Don't want anything to do with it. So I think I don't know the solution to that, to be honest. All my solution is that I don't want someone who I don't think we're a match.
Yeah, I think it's important to listen to understand and not always try to listen to win. A lot of times we're used to growing up wanting to get the trophy, wanting to get the award. And in relationships, I think Steve Harvey said, do you want to win or do you want to stay married in your relationships? And so do you want to win the argument or do you want to have a partner? And sometimes you have to decide when you want to compromise and when you want to be in a relationship. Now, I'm not advocating for abuse by any means, way, shape, or form. There's a difference. And I think it's important to ask, can you explain what upset you most? Or what would have helped in that moment if something isn't working? Communication is key, but address the root cause of problems, not just the surface. And, often fights, again, are about not being appreciated, feeling unheard, feeling insecure about something that transpired. And you just really have to communicate what is happening and making sure that it is being addressed.
If I take that rule about I feel and then say, and turn it instead, because I feel statements still are blaming. I'm sorry, you're saying because you did this, this is the way I feel. If I can turn every disagreement around to say, I am feeling triggered because and this is not your fault, right? But it is hitting me. So I have to work on this. You don't have to change a thing. I have to work on believing that you're going to stay no matter what. I think if that was what I got out of that commercial was if a couple is committed no matter what, and they're saying not till death do us part, but have established in the relationship that I choose you, for as long as we're having fun 80% of the time. And sometimes in that 20%, I'm going to feel like leaving because I don't like conflict. But I know that 80% of the time we're good together. And therefore, is it possible to change this 20% into the 80? Maybe, maybe not. So we're just having a 20% disagreement. Can we just agree to disagree on this one and let it go? That I can buy into. I got to write that down. Thank God this is on podcast, because I'm gonna clip that and to remind myself that is a good thing to. I believe that felt good when I said that.
And I think it's important, like when you argue about the dishes, is it really about the dishes, or is it about feeling unsupported because you actually want them to help out and actually do the dishes? And so talk to them about, hey, I don't feel supported. Can you help out and do the dishes? Don't just argue and pick a fight because of that. Communicate about what you actually want. I remember talking to one of my male friends, and he was like, Tiffanie, we don't read your mind. Tell us what you actually want. And I was like, that's a novel idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Again, and maybe it's my, strong, independent, feminine side that says, it's got nothing to do with support. Nobody likes to do the dishes. There's a rare person that wants to. It's just like, let's just split this up. So it's just something we got to do. Or is there something that I don't like to do that you'll do, and then I'll do this because you're doing that? So again, that connection between I don't feel supported and you not doing the dishes, I am pushing back on, because it is, it's that you complete me thing again. For me, and respectfully disagreeing, is I have to own what I am uncomfortable about, and it's got nothing to do with them. So
But see, and that's the thing. Healthy couples repair during conflict. And that's where that communication comes from, whether it's I'm sorry it came out wrong, or reaching out physically or communicating. But repair attempts matter more than being right. And that's just kind of where we're going.
yeah, no. You're absolutely right about that. Absolutely. The repair focus is more important than the split or the disagreement. And that's where I'm not good at all. Because I would rather, when people used to say, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I'll say both. I'm not going to let one go for the other. That's just the way I roll, right? It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether I win or lose, which makes me a really good winner. But it is, I think I'm on the cusp of something here. It's not about compromise. It's not about winning and losing. It's about, how can I have my needs met 80% of the time and 20% of the time be okay with not having my needs met? I think that's more important than, having because there's just, you want people to understand you, but they can't 100% understand you ever. It will never happen. If you have someone that understands you 80% of the time, that's good. That's good enough. If you have a person that doesn't understand you, you understand them more than 20% of the time, let them go. Let them be with someone who understands them with a higher percentage, and you as well. But to keep people constantly talking in this vicious cycle of I don't feel supported when you, or it hurts my feeling when you, or that it just to me is like we're trying to force a square peg into a round hole 80% of the time, right? If it's 20% of the time, it's okay. That's my final word.
So I want to make sure we understand.
Wait, and Lisa agrees with me. So there. It's not about living in a trash can like Oscar. Oh, this is a first reference to Oscar. Yeah, see? There you go.
Okay. So remember, how you fight says more about you than how you win. So let's remember that, because the real victory is not about defeating someone. Maybe it's leaving the fight with your integrity intact.
Okay.
You know, we're going to work on Dr. Marissa, people. We're going to work. We're
The
going to
devil's
pray.
advocate with Dr. Tiffany. It's kind of fun.
Yes.
You can take it too. She's just like, whatever, talk to the
Yes.
hand.
Yes,
But I think it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing. This is one of those topics, neither one of us are married again for a reason.
Because my thing is, if you win the fight but lose the relationship, did you really win?
Yeah, because that relationship is just not meant to be. Like, because there shouldn't be that much disagreement. There's 20% disagreement is healthy. I still have to work on that. I admit it. But fighting all the time, I don't know, 1 to 3 a week. I can live with that. I can live with that. I just have to practice disagreeing.
Well, I want to pose a question to you as well as the audience. Next time you fight, ask yourself, am I trying to defeat someone or defend something? Just a rhetorical question.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we're almost out of time, but so my husband said, I don't think we were in therapy. I don't think she needs to get her manicure every week. And I said, I do. I'm a professional, whatever. And 45 minutes of this. And finally, the therapist says to me, do you believe that you really need a manicure and you're paying for it, right? Then stop trying to get him to understand or agree with that. Doesn't matter. You need to own that this is important and quit blaming him for your defense of this thing. So that I can totally agree with. I think that sometimes in arguments, we want them to get why it is that we believe that way when it's just not possible. And it doesn't matter if they believe it or not on most things. On most things.
Absolutely. Because the reality is, fighting is human. It's not a flaw. It is a force, but fairness is a choice.
True. Lisa's trying to be happy, Dr. Tiffany.
I think you are happy.
All right. Was that your final word?
Because I think my final word is going to be, next time you fight, whether it is in a boardroom, a relationship, a comment section, or inside your own mind, just pause and ask yourself, what am I fighting for? That's all. That's my final word.
Great. My final word is this the hill I want to die on? That's what I ask myself every time I start feeling a little bit red under the collar. Is this the hill I want to die on? And usually it's no. And then I've get really good on saying things like, sorry, I gotta go. Or, oh, I'll have to think about that. Period. End of word. End of stop. Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffany. Another great. This is a 2 in a row that it's been great, lively disagreeing, and we still love each other. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thank you, Lisa, for being there
And being happy.
yes. All right. Tomorrow it is Throwback Thursday, so I'll see you then. In the meantime, Dr. Tiffany, take us out.
Now go and have the best day ever.